Alright, Shalom Akim. I like to say Kah Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash. Alright, God bless the apostles and others of great Milton of Ruel. And peace and salutation to the Akim around the world. I push this shoot to the four corners of the earth. I just want to go through this article I came across. It says Indian rules sex with a child bride is always rape in a massive win for girls' rights. You'll see it have a lot of things with India and all these other countries starting to talk about things like women's rights and girls' rights. You understand? There's all these things showing you how far Esau, that wine, you understand, that wine that Esau has been pushing for the last couple of years, how much it actually indoctrinate these other nations. You understand? Because the original way that people were supposed to be is that a woman could get married when she saw the flower of her age, which could have been like 13, 14, 15. It would vary from woman to woman. But these people are so indoctrinated by Esau way of life. You understand? I'll go through the article. Right, it's India top court has ruled that sex with a child is always rape. It's a quashing a clause that allows men to have sex with underage girls if they were married to them. Right? So, trying to state that even if you're married to them, y'all can't have any kind of relations until she reaches a certain age. Right? Which we know the original order of that was that the process of marriage is that they would have sex with each other. It says the Supreme Court landmark decision on Wednesday closed a legal loophole that has historically allowed perpetrators of rape to escape punishment, right? So they're not going by the original definition of rape, but Esau's definition, which is something you see all of these nations turn into. Even if you look at the facts of how things are done by other nations compared to how it used to be, you don't see Japanese wearing no kimonos, you understand, to go to no board meetings. You don't see these so-called Africans, you understand, you don't see them, and these Ethiopians and Egyptians, you don't see them wearing no dashikis and all these original things that what was originally their culture. You'll see them wearing what? Shirt and tie, which is the indoctrination of Esau, because that is Esau dress code. That is what Esau would push up upon the other nations, and that is all they just follow, the vibration of Esau. Even though you're starting to see them rebel against America and so forth, and actually rising up against them, you're still not seeing them giving up that programming that they receive from them. They still hold firm to that way of life that Esau teach them. Right? They say while the age of consent in India is 18, which we know that is a part of Esau's teaching, because years ago, not even long ago, it wasn't 18. You understand? Women could have been married at 15. One of my great grandmothers was married when she was 15 years old. So we know that is not even something that started too long ago. That was something recently. And all these other nations just hold fast to the teachings of Esau, talking about these women's rights and all these different things. All these things is the doctrines of Esau. Right? They say while the age of consent in India is 18, there was a clause in India's rape law that allowed the age of consent to 15 if the girl was married, right? Because all around that age is when a woman would start to see she menstruate, sometimes younger. They say, but the court has now ruled that the clause is discriminatory, capricious, and arbitrary, and violates the bodily integrity of the girl child. So their ancestors doing that for years upon years upon years. And Esau now come and tell them that it's wrong, and they just swallow that. It's wrong all of a sudden. Hundreds upon thousands of years was being done, and it was never a problem. When Esau tell it wrong, it's wrong because Esau said wrong. Right. And so this is the landmark judgment that corrects, right? It corrects a historical wrong against girls. So all the time your ancestors was wrong for doing that. All right. Right? They say the founder of campaign group Independent taught taught told the BBC, you see, how could marriage be used as a criteria to discriminate against girls? Say girls under 18 will now be able to report their husbands for rape as long as they lodge a complaint within a year of it happening. So they're trying to say that if a young girl was married to a man and she was under 18 and he had sex with her, she could be able to report that to the court to get him in trouble. Which originally, rape is actually how you would get a wife. Originally, it was one of the ways that you would actually get a wife, which was never against the law to do. In terms of if you were joined to a woman, there's no law stating. Anyway, let's go on. Right? So, the law states in here that if a man was married to a woman and he had sex with her before she was 18, she could report him. Okay. They say the judgment is a step forward in protecting girls from abuse and exploitation. All this go back to the vibration that Esau is push about not getting married from young, build your career, get your degree, and help to fuel Esau's system, because that is what it is push. They don't want you to, as the scriptures talk about. Now, I don't really care about Elam in particular. Elam could do what it want. This video is just to show how much of a plague Esau's indoctrination is. You understand? Not only for our people, but for all the other nations. Because even though they're breaking away from Esau's grip slowly but surely, the indoctrination they receive, they still hold firm to it. It's like a perpetual thing. Like Esau created like little minions. You understand? Little shadow clones of himself. And they just continue in that. Even though they might try to break away physically from Esau, they still hold firm to the programming that Esau gave. And that is why Esau needs to be taken out. He's a plague. He's a plague unto the earth, or to the other nations, and to the nation of Israel. Alright? You see, I read it over. You see, the judgment is a step forward in protecting girls from abuse and exploitation, irres- irres- irrespective of their marital status, right? Said Divya Srinivasan from Women's Rights Organization, Equality Now, told Global Citizens. So all this women's rights thing. Even the other day, it had something with some women in India joining hands to create a wall to fight for women's rights, and all these things, we know where they came from. Right? You see, the wine of fornication, that doctrine that Esau has pushed. You see, this position, this position decision by the Supreme Court will hopefully encourage the Indian government to protect all women by removing the marital rape exemption in all cases, she said. You see, commentators say the rule will be difficult to enforce in the country. However, due to the high rate, due to the high rates of child marriage, they say India is ranked 10 in the world for child marriage, with an estimated 47% of girls married by the time they turn 18, according to the campaigning organization Girls Not Brides. They say girls are often seen as an economic burden, particularly in poor rural areas, and many parents marry off their children in the hope of improving their financial security. They say there's also a shame associated with premarital sex that can lead to girls' parents forcing them to marry their rapists, according to the news agency, which was actually our original ordinance even we used to follow. Whenever a man did rape a woman, he was supposed to pay the father and marry her and not put her away for the rest of their life, right? That is actually one of the ways things were supposed to be done. But all of those things are old now, so they want to do it according to Esau's new standard. So child marriage is a serious barrier for the girl involved, often leading to them dropping out of school to focus on their domestic responsibilities, which is something Esau doesn't want. Esau training puppets to fuel his system. He don't want you to be domestic. He wants you to get a degree and go and help one of his big businesses to flourish. Your peons. You understand? He don't want his peons to not do their work. That is why he does groom your children from small to fuel his society or to do according to his liking. Right? And focus on their domestic responsibilities or suffering health problems from giving birth at a young age. Now, when was this ever determined that giving birth at the age of 17, 18, it would cause some kind of health risk? When? Hmm. You see, India's rape law have, prior to this ruling, specifically excluded married couples. They say men can currently still have non-consensual sex with their wives without it being classed as rape, right? You see, while ruling presents progress, you see there are still steps to be taken in criminalizing marital rape. Now, I'm gonna read the whole thing. You need to have a little bit again. I'll put a link in the description, for whoever it is might want to read through it for themselves. But all this showing you how all these other nations just taking up the practice of Esau. You understand? Because they had the original customs that they were following for many generations. And all of a sudden, they realized that the things that their ancestors taught them is not the way. They need to now turn to what Esau said is right and wrong. That is the way to go. You understand? Right now, they contaminated. They need to be purged. And when that time comes, they will be. Because they will, as there was indoctrinated by Esau's programming, when Yahushua Mashiach returns, they'll have to follow his programming. Alright, say Revelations 17, verse 2 is say, I'll start from verse 1. It says, and there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now that whore represents what? Babylon, right? America. And they have a serious judgment for what it is to do. You see, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And that goes back to all these philosophies and teachings. You understand? Because they want to follow after the ordinance of Esau. They want to worship that beast and his image. But you'll see even a lot of these you'll see a lot of countries. You'll see it in places like Nigeria, places like India and so forth. They don't even their media don't even sway towards like cultural teachings anymore. They just go to things that Esau, like for example, Esau have like them soap operas. They just more they just more try to do things like that to follow the habits and the styles that Esau. When you see the women would be wearing long dresses, you see them wearing short pants. You understand? Trying to copy and trying to be like Babylon. You understand? It's to show you that Esau is a plague unto people, like a parasite. And we can't wait until they're destroyed. Right? With that, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutation to the Akim around the world that push the truth in sincerity. Right? Shalom Akim.